Let's be a dummy and use my knife like an axe. Ah! 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 Blood! Wow, I don't know if it's harder to work a knife one-handed or to work my camera one-handed. What's up, guys? Dan here, Coalcracker. So number one, ketchup, gross. I will eat it here and there sparingly. I'm more of a mustard guy, so that was absolutely disgusting, first of all. Secondly, I didn't really cut my hand, but I did put this little wrap job on here just to show that I'm now gimpy and can't use this hand, because it has to do with today's video, and that is starting fires one-handed. Now, what prompted me to make this video, oh God, that ketchup stinks. I could smell it from here. But what prompted me to make today's video was I just recently did a video on more of like a training style exercise where I was out and about and I was talking like through a scenario what I would do, and people were like, well, you should be injured. Well, we can do one of them, and I do sometimes go out when I'm training and I think, hey, I can only use one hand or this or that. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about creating a fire with a ferrocerium rod if we only have one hand mobile. Now, there's a couple nuances to that I think are super important for you to know going into this outdoor lesson that we're going to teach today. Number one, this should teach you that it is very important to carry multiple ways to start fire. So if you're carrying just a ferro rod, probably a bad idea, because we always want to have alternative sources that if something like this did happen, okay, you can bring out a lighter, or you can bring out a match, or you can bring out a little aviation fire kit with a sparker in it. Different ways to do that eliminates the hassle and need to have to use these alternative techniques. And then secondly, I think on the internet we always go to the extreme, right? So we're like, Dan hurt his hand, now what? One hand, get after it. But here's the thing, you notice I'm moving this hand around. So even if I cut two of my fingers off, this hand is still mobile, so I can still use it to apply pressure. I can still move it around. I can use my palm and push down. It might not be the most comfortable thing, but I can still use it. So when we talk about this one-handed ferro rod technique, I think you have to put it into the entire like training category thing and just gain different parts out of it. Yeah, it's a good technique, right? Go out, test it, train it, but at the end of the day, I think unless you are like totally slung up and this arm is totally immobile, like there's going to be other things happening here. So we're just going to assume this hand is totally out of play. What will we do? We got a ferro rod, we have some fire stars, we have our knife or our multi-tool, whatever our scraper is. How do we get that started? Let me show you. All right, guys, so I'm down here in the dirt. You can see me just face almost just in the dirt, injured hand. Now what are we gonna do? So I have my fire area picked out. I cleaned some of the leaf matter, and then I just drug over a small branch, okay, about the size of my wrist. So I put that right at my fire area. Now from this point, what we're gonna do is we're going to get all of our tools out. So in this case, I'm gonna just use one of these little quick tinders that we used in a recent video. Gonna have to pull it apart like this with my teeth because again, hand totally immobile. So get that prepped. Set that down inside there. I'm gonna get the camera repositioned before we go, but I really wanted to show you on this side what we're looking at. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take my knife, okay, and we're gonna position our knife across this log, just like this. And the reason for that is because this is going to act as our second hand, believe that or not. So this is gonna act as my second hand. We wanna make sure that we have some of the spine of the knife, that's the back side of the knife, exposed over the log. Because what is ultimately going to happen here is my foot is going to place pressure here where my hand currently is, and my ferro rod is then going to get pulled across the back of this knife, just like this. So it's the same motion minus this hand. So rather than my hand holding the knife and pulling the ferro rod away, my foot is going to hold the knife in place, okay, sort of like a vert ramp for a skateboard, and then we're going to take our ferro rod and we're going to drag it across the knife. My foot is adding pressure to the knife blade that's going into the stick, drag across, and then on the other side of this we have our fire starter. So let me show you that in action here from a different angle. All right, so again, my knife is here, it's in a good position. I'm making sure when I do this that the blade is facing away from me and that this is really locked in here. You can see like I'm wiggling and moving, not much is happening. My tinder source is underneath, ferro rod's gonna be on top, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to give it some strikes here. So we just have to position, again, till them sparks hit the right spot, and look at, there we go. Took a few, but we got that lit. Now I can safely put my knife away. I can move my stick out of the way and begin to build my fire. All right, and just like that, boom, done. Well, no more cutting action, right? But point being, that is a very simplistic, easy technique. It is something, go out and practice. Just be careful with it. We don't want to get injured during training and practicing with an open blade, but it's something that I definitely think you go out, experiment with, learn, and then it's another tool for the toolbox at the end of the day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit like and subscribe down below. You can also check us out at Coalcracker.bushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, and our blog. And until next video, don't get cut, stay in the woods.